Steelers not only suffered a Week 1 loss, but also saw very little production from their offense, putting up just 3 points against the Patriots. Ben Roethlisberger was 27 for 47 and a pick and had no answers for the New England defense. But after the game, Big Ben put all the blame squarely on his shoulders, saying, quote, "I wasn't good enough. I wasn't giving guys balls where they needed to catch them." So, Shannon, do you like what Big Ben said there?
Yeah, he ain't got no choice. Who else? Yeah. He out of people to blame. No Todd Haley, no AB, no Le'Veon. So who the hell he gonna blame?
True.
Juju.
He can't blame
James Washington.
Yeah,
like
well, he criticized James last year. Now he like the way James. He loves the way James responded to the criticism. He called him and appreciated. Who you gonna blame? Juju. So yeah, he should have accepted responsibility because he played garbage. He played like trash. He had a worse QBR than Mitch Trubisky, and we know how bad he played on opening Thursday night.
Yeah.
But hopefully, he's getting the picture that he has to accept when things go good. He has to deflect and give praise to everyone else. And when things go bad, that's what the really good quarterbacks do, Skip. That's what they do. They take the onus on themselves. They don't look to point fingers when things go bad. They say, it's mine. I got to play better, and I will play better. And so hopefully he's turned the corner. But hell, I just think he did that because he out of people to blame. Can't blame Todd Haley. Can't blame Le'Veon or AB. So he had it to like, oh, ain't nobody left but me.
So you're giving him a backhanded compliment? You're damning with faint praise?
That's the kind of compliment.
Ooh.
Really?
Good job.
Yeah.
Now get on out there. Get on out there, son.
Well, he could have blamed Mike Tomlin for not having the team ready for a big game.
No, he wasn't
soon.
ready.
Okay. It's too soon.
How about him?
Okay. So you have been harshly critical of Ben Roethlisberger for a couple of years now. And for once, he just said, it's all on me. So isn't that a sign, even at age 37, of some growth in
at some point in time, I run out of excuses. If I keep coming, I ain't got my homework. The dog ate it. It went in the shredder. My mom threw it away. It got wet. I mean, at some point in time, the teacher gonna look at me and say, "What's next, Shannon?" I'm out of excuses, teach. I just didn't do it.
Really?
Damn it, I just didn't do it. Now,
has Ben ever done anything in his career? Did he win a couple of Super Bowls? Did he play in 3?
Whoa.
Success.
Yeah. If that's what you want to call that first one, now I wonder what his QBR was in that first Super Bowl. Did you see that performance?
Did they win?
See?
Okay.
So I just want you to remember that now. I want you to see, you don't have that kind of energy when you talk about Dak. Had a higher QBR than Jared Goff, but they took L's. Had a higher QBR than Aaron Rodgers, but they took L's.
Every time he did.
But
Every time.
Did they win?
Outplayed him.
Did he win?
Can he play safety?
Oh, see, there you go. See, you see what you do, Skip. Why
No,
you
I don't
that?
do it. I just know what my eyes tell me and the stat tells me.
Well, the eyes should have told you that he lost. That's what the eyes should have. But look.
Did he play well enough to win? Yes, yes, and yes. 3 times against Aaron Rodgers, he played well enough to win and won one of them.
Back to Ben.
Yep.
This was the first game. Hopefully, it's a sign of the maturity he gets.
Hopefully
that
it is.
he must take the lion's share of the blame when things go bad while giving the praise away when things go good.
Does Mike Tomlin deserve any criticism for what happened on Sunday night?
Yeah, he's a defensive guy. That defense was terrible.
Here's what I saw. I told you yesterday, in all my years of watching Tom Brady, Bill Belichick's Patriots, I've never seen them play a better regular season big game than they played on Sunday night on both sides of the ball.
You did.
They dominated and devastated Pittsburgh. And I've never seen a good Pittsburgh team, and I still believe this is going to be a good one, get so thoroughly dismantled and dominated. It wasn't that they self-destructed. They really didn't self-destruct. They just got annihilated. They got beaten. That's what happened. In every way, shape, and form that you can get beaten, they got beaten to the point that I think Mike Tomlin, not on the hot seat, but he's on a personal hot seat to try to pick this team up off the floor because New England left this team for dead. This is still a team. This is the kind of, you've been there before.
Yeah.
It's so devastating that you fly back and you look at each other and you say, we had no answers.
Right.
We had not one answer.
You
couldn't
know,
do anything.
You know when you thoroughly get dominated and team put foots in, you like, man, what happened out there today?
And it's not like the offense can look at the defense and say, where were you? Because the defense can look at the offense and say, where were you?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Neither showed up because they got obliterated by the team in Foxborough. So you don't think Mike Tomlin's got a challenge ahead of him this week? Seattle comes in.
Yes.
Is Seattle a great football team? They barely outlasted Cincinnati.
Right.
But are they dangerous? You better believe they're dangerous with that quarterback.
Yes, absolutely.
You don't think he'll compete with you?
Yep.
Sure.
So Pittsburgh's a 4-point favorite, and I'm here to say this is a turning point game for the 2019 Pittsburgh Steelers, because after this, the schedule's fairly easy. You could get right back on a roll, but you could also just go straight in the toilet if your coach can't pick you back up, because their confidence got shattered.
Skip, you know, we talked about this all preseason, all this offseason, and especially once the Browns made the moves that they made. And we talked about Steelers and the Browns, Steelers and the Browns. But the Ravens not going anywhere.
No, they're not.
They're going to always play defense. And I'm not saying that Lamar Jackson will have very many more games, if ever, a game like he had Sunday. But if I believe he's improved as a passer.
So do I.
Skip, they're going to be a tough out. They're going to be a tough out. And you know how Baltimore plays Pittsburgh. It doesn't matter who their quarterback is. It doesn't matter how good offense.
Agreed.
They will play. Their defense will keep them in every game.
Do I think Baltimore's better than the Steelers? I do not. But do I think the Steelers got devastated? Yes, I do.
I do. I agree.
Could they look at each other and say, well, maybe we did need AB and obviously
Man,
Le'Veon?
Skip, you don't look. I don't know. There's a team that can say, you know, we got better, giving away 2 top 20, top 25 players, and say, you know what, we're a better football team. You don't. Granted, like I said, I never
Did you say we got closer, we got tighter?
Less
maybe
drama.
Skip, for me, I get the AB situation, the missed practice and the walkthrough. I get all that, but I still can't understand why they fell out with Le'Veon, because the man trying to get his money. And it's all the people that's talking about him that got their money.
That's interesting. Yeah. And why the locker room changed on him.
Yes.
Shifted. No, it's true. The second worst loss of Big Ben's career, so he can really only go up from here as the season continues. Adrian Peterson, though, didn't play last weekend. Is he being disrespected? We'll talk about him next. To another win over the weekend. The Sooners still dropped in the AP Top 25, falling from 4th to 5th after being, leapfrogged by LSU.
Leapfrog.
Quite a win. I know. I don't know if you were going to like that word. Skip, you have been all in on Jalen and the Sooners.
I have.
Do you have a problem with this?
I was outraged when I saw this. And I got a little outraged listening to the great Kirk Herbstreit do the telecast on Saturday night. I watched the whole game, and I love Kirk, and I'm usually right with Kirk in his evaluations and impressions and opinions. But as the game wore on, he was starting to make the case, LSU looks so good tonight, maybe they should vault to number 1. And I believe that swayed some of the voters.
Interesting.
To number 1, I'm watching LSU give up 530 yards to Sam Ehlinger and the Texas Longhorns, albeit in Austin. But LSU has gone from all defense, to all offense and no defense. 530 yards, and all of a sudden you leapfrog a team, Oklahoma, that can only do what it does. It can beat Houston, it can beat South Dakota.
Well, stop playing South Dakota.
It's like,
you put them on the schedule.
What did St. Nick say the other day? We'll play anybody. You can't get anybody to play you.
Yeah, they scared of it.
Yeah.
Do you want to? Is that what you want on your resume in the regular season? Do you really want Alabama in the regular season on your resume if you're not in the SEC? I don't think so.
You want Lincoln Riley's offense on your schedule? You do not.
I want them because guess what? You don't keep that offense out there all the time. You got to play defense, and your defense is garbage. But anyway, Skip,
it's not as much garbage as it used to be.
Skip, look at LSU. Joe Burrows threw for the transfer from Ohio State, threw for the second most yards in LSU history.
Okay.
They had, for the first time in LSU history, 3 receivers go over 100 yards. As you mentioned, they're not a dot the eye tossing to them. Now they're a throwing team. I think the coordinator came from on the staff at the Saints.
Yep.
And they've Edgerron and said, oh, bro, whatever you want, you got my blessing.
Okay.
And that's the way they're going to play. Now, Alabama got their work cut out for them.
Texas is a what conference defense? It's a Big
12.
12. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, you blast the Big 12. You
known for
ridicule the
it.
Big 12.
Yeah.
You say anybody could throw for 600 yards.
That's why Jalen Hurts got 700 yards in 2 games. There you go.
Okay.
And he had one 300-yard game.
So the biggest issue for me that I have is the fact that we have to have this conversation because there's only 4 teams they let in the playoffs, right? Like, why do I only get to see 4 teams play against each other in the playoffs, right? Because that'd be the same thing if it's in the NCAA in basketball. We just go right to the Final Four, right? To me, there are a lot of good teams out there: Auburn, Alabama, Texas, Clemson.
Ohio
LSU,
State.
Ohio State.
Yep.
There's some really good teams out there who I would love to see those teams duke it out and battle it out in the playoff system. But
how many? 8?
8, 10. You know, I mean,